Hello everyone, my name is Ivan. Today we're going to cover calculation seeds by weight in a seeding app. This is probably our biggest calculation here. There's so many things are happening in calculation when it comes to the seeds by weight. So we're going to go through it and just to see how those calculations can be done and what things can be entered, that calculation can be done quicker, and some of the things can be pulled up quick as well. Okay, when we open up seeding app calculator, it's always comes right into the calculate tab as a default, and always comes into the seeds by weight. So next, what we do, we have to just choose the crop. So I would not allow to do anything else before we choose the crop, and this is the required option. When we choose the crop, there's a list of crops available. Those are the default crops, except this one. This one I already created, and another one. So I had just a different varieties, and that I had to do some quick navigation, so I just created those two. So you can choose the crop, or you can add a new crop here, or new crop can be entered as well in the settings. I covered that in the previous video. It's called the app crop settings. When we choose the crop, next page comes up, so where we have a grower as an optional, field optional, area as well as an optional, crop is required, variety optional, 1000 kernel weight required, seed is optional, row spacing required, germination, mortality. Germination and mortality, usually they come as a default. That's what I entered, but usually it's 100%. Germination comes in, always comes as a default, and mortality comes as a 0, always as a default. Okay, so when we enter all the information, next thing we have to click calculate. Before we do that as well, so we can go through those things, and in here there's those drop down menus. We can change those values either in acres, hectares, price per pound, kilogram, price per bag, or we can do row spacing in inches and centimeters. Okay, now when we click hit calculate, and the pop-up page comes up. So before we go do anything, I just want to touch up that you can mail that report with a just simple click. It will go right to your email. So that's how the report would look like when this is all our input values right here, and down below right here this is all our calculation. So as we enter the acres, and so basically it goes right to the US values, right to that default. When you enter the hectares, it will go right into the metric values. Or if you enter as well row spacing in centimeters, then it'll go into the metric. So it depends which values you are entering. Yeah. So it comes into US values, and I had a few questions that ask why you have that 9 and 10 here. Well, there's the plants per square foot. 9 and 10, those are just the default numbers. Yeah. So simply you can just enter the numbers you wanted here. So there is nothing you can at the moment adjust where those plants would actually go into the crops yet. Hopefully something will be looked in the future, maybe something we can do in the reference table where you can actually adjust those plants per square foot to certain crops in reference, or maybe we can add to the settings that you don't have to enter that. As of for today, yes, those 9 and 10, those are just the default. by default. So now US values. So simply we can switch from US values to metric values, and there is no conversion happening between the plants. So now it's still 9 and 10 plants per square meter. Simply, if you would like to see what's the difference, you have to basically times that by 10.76 or enter 90, 91, 92 plants and 100 just to see, your conversion. Yeah. So that's how those both reports would look like. And in here as well, when we are switching from US to metric values, all the inputs are staying in US values. In some cases you may say, hey, why those things are, it doesn't make sense, but because you still have those inputs as in US values. So to be able to, I would say, really navigate to see your metrics, basically just click X and enter your acres, hectares instead of the acres, and enter as well your centimeters instead of the spacing, because those can interfere some of those things like a total kilograms, or there's another ones, not all, but there's a few. Otherwise it's kind of pretty neat option when you can switch them quick and enter those things, and just to see those things quicker, just allow you to do that. Okay, the next one, what we'll do, we'll just go basically through those each of those drop down menus. So we can, in the first one, we can choose how many plants per square meter. Even with still in US values, we can choose that and enter that, So next drop down value is where we can choose different weights: pounds per acre, kilograms, bushels per acre, pounds per hectare, kilograms per hectare, bushels per hectare. So when we do that, those both values will change. It's not only one value is changing, both values will be changing. Seeds per acre and seeds per hectare. So those are the both ones, Seeds per foot of row and seeds per meter of row. Total pounds, total kilograms, total metric tons, total US tons, and total bags. Acres per hectare, dollars per hectare. And that's pretty much it. That's what we have under each of those drop down menus. So I just want to talk a little bit quick about the weight, where you can do that weight right here in your settings, and as well, so you can have different weights. In here it's still called a bag, but once again, when you enter 1,000 pounds, so it can be like a mini bulk. So 50 pounds a bag, there's lots of those 50 pounds a bag nowadays on canola, but as well there's some mini bulks, not only on canola, but as well some mini bulks and wheat, and those are not certified seed when it comes in those mini bulks. So that can be entered as well, not only for canola, but for other crops. In here, under the price, once again, the price can be entered by pound or by kilogram or price per bag. Even in your settings, even if you have a bag here, weight in the bag, you can still enter the price per pound, and that will do the calculation, tell you what's your cost per acre. So under the plants per square foot, there's a two basically those steps where you can enter at the same time two different values. And even myself been working previously lots with those seeding rates. It's been always kind of always the one tab that if, for example, enter 25 plants and you need to go back out or enter the new value at 27 or 30 or 35 plants, that's an is calculator basically allow you to enter those two values. Or for example, if you're doing variable rate application with a seed, so basically you can simply enter your minimum and maximum value, and and see what's the cost, for example, can be associated with my mean and minimum value of plants per square foot or maximum value. So those are I find really useful, and as you can kind of do some comparison as well. For that reason, the price has been established in the calculator just to see, even within a plant, if I'm seeding 25 plants, what's my cost if I seed in 26 plants or 27 plants. It was just kind of interesting to see those things. So wheat, I didn't talk much about wheat, but wheat in here as well can be entered pounds per bushel, so price per bushel, and as well total bushels, down below. So one more thing before I basically end the video, I would like to cover a little bit seeds per acre here. Now, and here is the seeds per acre. That's how many seeds per acre. But those are seeds per acre, just the seeds, total seeds, including mortality and germination. If you would like to know how many live seeds you are going to have, so now you have to simply click X and enter germination at 100% and mortality at 0, and it will show your basically live seeds. There is no option on it. Maybe something in the future we would implement it, where you can pull up this drop down menu and you can choose plants per acre or live seeds per acre or something like that. But now it basically only in here your seeds per acre, which including your germination and mortality. So, and this is basically, it's telling you how many seeds per foot of row you're going to have. And this is really neat option, because I've had some of the stories where for example, grower calibrate your drill and telling you, hey, all the drill is calibrated, but when you go and actually do some seed counting, it's going to totally different seed counts. Or for example, if grower purchased a new drill and he forgot to adjust the settings on a drill, how many feet to drill. One drill, for example, was 50, another new drill is 70. So, and he forgot to do that, but when you go and do those counts and you finding, hey, it's less and more, then it's kind of, I'm finding really neat feature to have in a calculator how many seeds per foot of row it's fallen. I think that's pretty much it. Again, it's lots of things in it, but I hope those things can benefit you when it comes into the calculation for the different plants, or price per pound, price per bushel, price per bag. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. That's what I would like to touch up in this section. And thank you very much for watching this video.